All right, hello. This is Nathan Stout. This is my animal behavior research project. As you can see, I did it with my cat Louie. She was who I was researching for this project. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so my main question is how will the number of times my cat meows at me differ based on if I respond to her or not? Louie is a very talkative gal, and so I'm curious to see if um how I respond to her affects how she tries to communicate with me. My hypothesis with this is that my cat will meow more when I do not pay attention to her and will meow less when I give her what she wants. My thinking behind this is if I'm not paying attention to her, if I'm not giving her what she wants, she's gonna be more vocal with me and she's gonna tell me what she wants over and over and over again until she gets what she wants. And if she's getting what she wants, then she's not gonna care, so she's gonna stop yelling at me, you know? For my pre-research though, I wanted to kind of look at what makes a cat meow and what different kinds of meows that there are. I basically, when I was researching like what makes a cat meow, I realized like I know all these things, but it was nice to kind of know that I had the right information to going into this project rather than having the wrong thing. But I was interested in the four different kinds of meowing patterns because I didn't really know the names for them. But yeah, to go through them real quick, the vowel patterns are meows in all kinds of variations, so just plain old meow. Articulated patterns are they can be frustrated chirps or chattering. So like when your cat's watching some birds outside and they're trying to like click and sound like them, that's an articulated pattern. A murmur pattern is something like quieter and it's usually when they're getting like affection. So that's like a purr or a trill, like the cat starting up sound is what some people like to call it. Or strained and intensity patterns. These are hisses and growls, usually when a cat is upset. So, going into this project, I was kind of looking for these four things, but mostly I just kind of wanted to think about what's going to make my cat Louie meow. All right, so for the field work I conducted for this, I did this in two separate 1 hour stints. So I did it for 2 hours total. Um, so for the first part of it, I ignored Louie for 1 hour while she like would attempt to get my attention while I was doing homework. That's kind of how it ended up being. My initial thing was like, while she's kind of like being more active and alert rather than like asleep. I didn't want to do this when she was sleeping. And the second part would be, again for an hour, I would respond to every time she meowed with what I thought she wants. Um, so yeah, so I wanted to see which time she would actually meow at me more, whether I was responding to her every time she meowed, or if I wasn't responding to her when she meowed. I want to give a quick disclaimer before I get started on like my results and everything. Um, when I was doing my pre-research, it um, was kind of like made very apparent, and I already knew this, but I feel like I should say it along with my project as kind of like a do not do this at home kind of thing. But like, don't ignore your cat regularly. A lot of times when cats meow, it could be because they're injured or because they're out of food or because their litter box is dirty. And excessive meowing can mean that something is wrong. And only ignore your cat if you're like, oh my gosh, they're back again, just wanting to, annoy me and get some love. But yeah, you know, just listen to your cat. They have needs and wants as well. All right, let's get into the first part of the fieldworks results. So this was where I was ignoring her. Um, she meowed at me 16 times. Okay, she's a very vocal cat. So within the span of an hour, 16 times, I was kind of shocked. Actually counting it, she's usually pretty mouthy. um, she jumped on my back, um, or scratched and jumped onto my legs, three separate times, and she started scratching on the couch two separate times. 14 out of 16 of these meows were to gain my attention. Um, the other ones were she likes to meow when she jumps onto something, and she announced her presence when jumping onto like the table and the couch twice. Okay, with this part, I made two large observations, and I want to make a note as well. So, Louis did not like it when I relocated from the couch to a tall chair. She started to like kind of attack me more. She wasn't I wasn't as easily accessible to her anymore, which I honestly think is what frustrated her. Is like I was no longer like she was no longer able to walk all over me and attack my feet and my legs and like even be near my head. So instead she had to like jump up and like kind of claw onto my back or onto my legs to get my attention. And additionally, I found that she would meow every time I looked at her. So a couple of the meows that she did, I think it was two, were like directly related to me like looking down at her from where I was sitting. Something I really did like I connected this I didn't observe I partially observed this, but I already knew this about her, was she gets into trouble when she wants attention. And that's something that I found in my pre-research as well, is that that's something that cats like to do. But Louie will start scratching at the couch if she wants us to like play with her or to just like hang out with her, like just like pet her or give her all of our attention. She'll start doing it when we're all busy. But yeah, she'll start like scratching at the couch or at like our ottoman and stuff. So, and I was something I noted, she started doing that twice. And actually, that was pretty close to the beginning of when I started this experiment while I was still sitting on the couch. She started scratching at the side of the couch to get me to pay attention to her more, which I thought was particularly notable in this phase of the experiment. Look really hard at this picture, you can see that I tried to draw what it looks like when Louis jumps up and scratches me on the back and the legs. Because I couldn't get a picture of it, but yeah, if you look really hard, you can see it. Here is a picture of her mid experiment, really mad at me that I was doing my homework. You can see it on her face. She was upset that I wasn't paying attention to her. Okay, for the second part of the field work, this is where I was responding to all of her demands of me. She meowed a total of 50 times, which is an insane jump from when I was ignoring her. And I did these on two like very separate occasions. I did one of these. I did part one yesterday. I did part two today. So at the time of recording this, um, but yeah, I was really shocked by like this dramatic jump. And this was also exactly opposite of what I thought was gonna happen. But she spent about 75% of the time purring. Um, and most of the meows were like she was happy and she was meowing about it. So the results of this were very shocking to me, but yeah, she's a big lover and she loves the attention. She loves the love. Um, so she was just purring up a storm. Like even when I wasn't petting her, she was purring and just like looking at me. She was just happy to be in the room with me. Um, but yeah, we'll break these down here in just a second. Okay, here are my observations. Also, I don't know why I said we'll break these down here in just a second when I was like, it's ties right into it. I'm recording all of these audio clips separately, so when I say in just a second, it's literally like a minute later when I record the next one. Anyways, the observations. So most meows were in short stints of 3 to 4 within 10 seconds. So I'd be like petting her as she likes it. She likes it like all up and down her back or on her tummy and stuff. And she would meow like meow, 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 really quickly. Um, while she was purring. It wasn't like a stop kind of meow. It was like a, oh, heck yes, finally, I'm getting all the love kind of meow. Which I thought was really interesting. That's why she racked up so many meows, was because they were like short stints of 3 or 4. Um, but every once in a while, she would be done. But then she would want me to start petting her again. So she'd meow 1 or 2 times for me to focus on her. You know, just to get me to lock back in. But yeah, she'd meow multiple times when she was enjoying all of the love. So definitely different results than I thought, but still super fascinating. Okay, here's some pictures of Louie while I was giving her all the attention that she ever wanted. So yeah, I think she's pretty cute. Right. So in conclusion, Louie meowed more when I gave her attention rather than when I ignored her. So my hypothesis was incorrect. I thought it was going to be the other way around. But I'm going to be honest, I'm not super surprised. Um Louie is a very vocal cat. She spends a lot of time just like meowing outside my door when it's like 3 in the morning and there's no way I'm getting out of bed. She just everything's about her 100% of the time. You know, she's a very self-centered cat who loves to talk. So, her sister Acorn, by the way, was sleeping the entire time, like genuinely has been asleep all day. She is not a very like vocal cat. She did not meow once today. Or yesterday. She literally has just been sleeping and sleeping and sleeping and doing her own darn thing. So yeah, it was 0 to a total of over 60 meows within a day. So but yeah, Louie's a very vocal cat, so I'm like a little bit surprised, a little bit not surprised, but very interested by these results. I did not think they were going to be like this. So yeah, um, thank you for watching my presentation. Thank you for listening to me talk about my cat. I hope you enjoyed all the pictures, all the data, all the information, and my sources are here too. I used two different sites. I used two different sites uh, just to learn about what different cats meows mean. And I did a little bit of research on why cats meow. That was the Aspeka resource too. All right. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.